Hey, good evening. Can someone write anything just to make sure the chat is working? Okay. Test, yeah, yep, okay, cool. It's working, and I just need to get it to work right here on my phone as well so I can see it all the time. Okay. Tonight I'm gonna look at drums primarily. I mean, we can talk about other stuff as well, but that's the main thing. So what I've done is that I've opened up Snow from the latest EP because I really like the drums on that. There's something, I don't know, the textures are just really good on the drums in that song, I think. Sorry, I just need to make sure that I can see the chat here, because otherwise I might miss some stuff, and I don't want that. We'll see. Anyways, okay, so we could take a look at like how you just do regular old drums, like you know, 4 to the floor, club vibe drums, but honestly they're a little bit boring to make because they are very sort of I don't know, they're just they're very simple in the sound design, actually. I mean, the kick has one specific use, and that is to create that sort of thumping thing in your chest and almost like move your fucking intestines all over, so that it becomes extremely physical, and that's cool. But you can have that effect with a kick drum and also add something that actually makes the sound interesting. So just for you to sort of understand what I mean, let me turn up the music here. Here's like something that could be a regular club kick. Something like that. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. It's almost not even a sound. It's more like, it's a simple shape that is very utilitarian. It makes us dance, and don't underestimate that. But some songs need something else, and I would like to show you how to create that elseness, that thing that makes it special, and drink my tea at the same time. Okay. So for instance, what is the kick in Snow? It is a few layers combined. So here's one of them. Here's another one. it's very low. It doesn't add much, but it just adds a little bit of extra on the ones. So I don't know if you can see the MIDI up here. So this was the first sound that I played, and it has doom, 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 and the other one is just doom, doom. So it adds like an extra accent. And it's the same one with this one down here. And another one. So we have quite a few kick sounds going, and this one that I just added now is definitely my favorite. I mean, let's do a quick before and after. So this is without it. It's pretty cool, but there's not much of a room going on. There's not much of a spatial thing going on. And then as soon as we add the one that I called Kick Drunk, without really remembering why. I don't know. If I was doing this as a sketch, then when I added this sound, I would be thinking like, maybe there's something here. And I can see that I even added another one and another one. So let's add them as well and see what happens. I mean, it's rare that I have, 6, 7 kick tracks just to make one sound. But it's a good example of actually building layers of sound on top of each other and thereby creating something entirely new. Sorry, I just gotta see that. Yeah, it does feel good. And yeah, I would say, like you said, Magnus, it does make it sound natural somehow. It brings sort of that element where it's like halfway electronic sounding and halfway like an acoustic drum set. And adding to that, I would say that that this song called Kick Appliance as well is also just something to give it that feeling of being a real kick drum. So the reverb plugin used is, and that's a big part of what we're going to talk about today, is actually a convolution reverb, but using it in sort of a weird way. So here's the kick that adds the realness to the kick. This is with the reverb, and this is without. And completely without. So, I mean, right now it just sounds like any old kick. There's nothing to it really. Everything that makes it sound like a real kick is in the two reverbs that I use here. Okay, so what else do we have in this drum track? We have this great thing called frog cut, and I think that's because, yeah, it's from a breakbeat called Frog Legs that I've sliced up, and instead of it, let's hear what it actually sounds like. This is just the sound itself. So it's like a very retro sounding drum break. And yeah, what I did with that is just use tiny bits and pieces of it. It's sliced, which means that let me find that again. That it is triggered on these blue parts of it. So let me choose it here, and then using my, for instance, the keyboard here, I can play specific parts of it. Why it only goes to the reverb right now, I don't fully understand, actually. Let's see. It's just very low, so. Whatever, something like that. It can be played on the push as well. But it's a fun way of taking a breakbeat and then making it playable like regular drum sounds. I'm good, me. Hope you're good too. Let's see. Oops, I'm on the wrong cam. My bad. There we go. Okay. So I made it into this. Again, a lot of the sound of it is actually it going to the reverb rather than the sound itself. Yeah, so that's a part of it as well, and if we add the kicks to that, then that's beginning to add like an actual beat to it. Very subtly though, because there's a lot of sounds to come still. So now we get to the rim shot part of it, because I do use a lot of rim shots in this. Instead of actual snare samples, let me just play. Like this is a snare, something like, I don't know. That's a snare, this is a rim shot. So I would say a rim shot is more of a subtle sound. It doesn't take up quite as much space, and I don't know, I just personally prefer the sound. So let's add a few of those. Let's take the two first. So the first one is dry, and that one is really wet, like the kick drum. And there's even a few more that adds some sub notes. So I mean, this is just a way of over 2 bars creating a little bit of a variation that makes it not be completely what's the word? That the loop is just, it feels a little bit more evolved. And all of this together, let's do that. Here we go. Now it's beginning to be something. Yeah. Now, as I said, I've definitely, this is my favorite beat, just like drum beat on the EP for sure. I don't know, it just feels pretty unique to me. It's kind of grimy and dirty, and at the same time it feels clean. Especially when you haven't without adding the hi-hats, but we're gonna do that now. So I have a ton of hi-hats going on as well. Let's see. Let's start with the one called Subtle Swing, because that's the most important one. Okay, so the ones are... Okay, and as you can hear, these are pretty dirty. These are hi-hat sounds that, oh man, I've had these, like, even before the first Rangleklar stuff was released. I think it was some of the very first samples I ever bought. Yeah, Magnus, I mean, for sure, this is my Burial appreciation track. This is because I've listened to Burial for countless hours. He was the first artist I heard who actually used these type of sounds, and I don't know, and that type of feel. And he's one of my favorite artists to date. So yeah, I would for sure say that hearing his music was the thing that was the first thing that made me interested in this type of beat. Yeah. But these are, as I said, like vinyl samples. That means if you can hear it, there's a lot of noise in the sample. It's a hi-hat and it's the noise from the record. And then actually I've added even more here that I will get into. So yeah, noise and imperfection is oftentimes one of your best mates when you're making music, at least to me. And then there are just like small, subtler things that creates tension. Like there's this one. You can almost not hear it. The reason why I made this track was just to add a little bit of stereo movement. As you can hear, it goes like from side to side. There is a few others, but I mean that's the most important bit. You can hear all the hi-hats together here. That's cool, Marcus. You can see it whenever you want to. It's going to be online. Okay. And now, together. Yeah, man. I fucking love this beat. Also, am I adding even more here? Yeah, there's another tambourine going on for sure. Okay, so that's the entire beat. And that is a lot of the programming. But one very important thing about this particular beat, and something that... was this the first song I really did it on? It might have been, at least to this degree, was to add... oh my God. I'm losing the chat all the time, guys. I'm sorry. Is a lot of ambient sounds. So what ambient sounds is something like adding subtle noise, but also a lot of sounds like this. So all these really nothing sounds. I mean, this is not a song, you know what I mean? And it's not a beat. It's if anything, it sounds almost like a soundtrack or something. You know, the type of noise that would be in, I don't know, like the engine room of a spacecraft or something stupid. But I'm gonna play you the beat with and without this ambience. So, over here again, without the ambience. And you know, to me it sounds good, but it's also a little bit sterile. It's almost sterile. So let's add the ambience. And now there's a little bit of glue. I don't know, to my ears at least, it almost goes from being sort of a beat to being a record, if that makes any sense. But that's kind of how I look at it. Because there's just something piecing it together. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I like a lot of... thank you, Simon. I just really enjoy music that was made before software and computers made it possible to have such clean sounds, because today's music is exceptionally clean. There's almost no noise. It's very almost surgical, and I don't know. It's kind of a nostalgia that is before my time, because I never bought LPs. I never bought vinyl. Maybe I had like a few cassette tapes when I was very little, but I mean, it shouldn't be something that's important to me. It's not something that's important to my childhood. It just... there is a sense of nostalgia within me. Exactly. Like Magnus said, like, yeah, adding grain or noise. This is like looking at an old family album rather than someone showing you pictures on their phone. And I mean, honestly, there's no doubt to me about what's better of the two. I've never seen someone where you like put up your camera phone and you're like, you want to see 20 pictures on my phone, and they go, yeah, please let me watch 20 pictures on your phone, man. But if you find like a dusty old folder of photographies, I mean, personally, I'm fucking in. Because, I don't know, it just seems like there's stories in that folder. So, I guess that's an analogy to how I feel about this type of sound. It's a little bit far-fetched, but it's there. Okay, so this could take a while because I have so much I still want to say about this. Let's do it by maybe use this as an example. Let's see. Now we're going into actual sound design. Stuff you can do with samples. Okay, so let's take the reverb off of this sound. And then let's remove the equalization and the convolution reverb I put on. And let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so first of all, it's brighter. It's a little bit... Definitely perfection-free imperfection. Definitely. So... I'm probably... No, I'm actually raising it, but the top end. This is the equalizer. But it's probably because the convolution reverb takes a whole bunch of it off. So let's hear it with... Yeah, man, that is a great sound. I'm using convolution reverbs in a way that's not really intended to make these sounds. And I'm using it on, I would think, maybe 10 different sounds in this beat. The thing is that, and let's just make a new sound down here. To show you what I mean. I'm gonna load up a rim shot because that's fairly easy to hear the difference. Sorry, I'm not leaving. That one. I just wanted to find one that was really short. Okay, so that, and then let's just make like a super quick easy rhythm. Okay, so the convolution reverb is already on, and it was a spring reverb. I'm gonna take that off. Sorry, I'm just gonna read. Oh man, I'm so happy to hear that Reloop created that creative spur for you. That's great. It's a little treasure trove of a drum inspiration piece. Okay, here's the rim shot, and it annoys me. It's too bright. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have a soul yet. So usually, what you use a convolution reverb for is that you want to create a big room, like for instance a spring reverb, or let's say a hall. Something like that, you know. That's not what I want to use it for. I want to take sounds that aren't really meant for it and put it on. That's better. It's still a little bit too normal. Let's go into my grungy folder here. And here. There we go. This is a good example. To me, this is a much more exciting sound now. I'm gonna play it with without. Yeah. And with. That's good. And what this is just like such a short sound that we put into the convolution reverb instead of a big thing like, yeah, whatever, church or something like that. And we can try different ones. Now it sounds completely different. Also nice. Also good, a little bit dusty. And now it's strange. Let's try a different one again. That's cool as well. It sounds almost like it's within tube or something. Let's try this one. Okay, that's nice. So this one we could definitely do something with. It kind of sounds like it was sampled now because there's that bit of noise almost in it. And without. It's just, I don't know, boring to me. Then we can maybe add, what do I want to add to this one? Maybe just like, let's try to just compress it a bit. I actually think this is enough. Sometimes you can also go overboard with just layer upon layer. Yeah, man. By compressing it, I'm just trying to make sure that the tail end of it is almost as loud as the first bit of it. But honestly, I like it this way better, so I'm just going to erase it. And let's say that's enough for that sound. Then we can use that to create a beat later. And I'm going to take a kick drum instead. Let's go find a really just... this one. Generic sounding, it's nothing in itself. And then let's put it there so it does have that dun da, a dun da. Let's try that. Sure, that's kind of the same beat that we already have in Snow. And then I want to do the convolution thing one more time just to really hit it home, because it is probably my favorite trick. And I had this idea going down here actually, so it might not work at all, but I was thinking, what if I put another drum sound into the convolution reverb and then put it on? So maybe something like, I don't know. This one could be interesting, perhaps. So this is again without and just the kick. Yes, and then with. Yeah, man. That's not bad. Okay, I want to remove a little bit of highs from the rim shot. Something annoying me there, and I want it to be super subtle. You know what, actually, let's just do that, the other one. No. This is how it go. This is how it goes sometimes. Like, it's one step forward, one step back. It was the right one. I just need to make it work. And now I can't remember which one it was. Can I go back? Like, that's it. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. So just to quickly be able to show you what a huge difference these really quick things that I've done makes. Here's without. And here's with. Now we might want to bring a little bit of the original kickback. Something like this. And already we're kind of vibing. Yeah, let's not bring any of that in. Okay. Other tricks. Well, we can take a hi-hat. Like this one. And here's another tip that doesn't necessarily have to do with the sound of it. Okay. So I'm adding, like, now it's a thing. And right now, to me, it doesn't work at all because of a few things. But listen to it again. It's really stiff in my ears. I don't know. It just doesn't work. So the main thing you want to do is put on a groove. And in Ableton, it's really simple, but you can do it in any program you use. So here's width. I'm adding it to all free sound. So you hear that? It's got a swing now. So without, it's just very on point, but it doesn't have any humanity. And here's with. So yeah, man, swing, that's important. But let's go further. I definitely wanted to die quicker so that it's more precise. There we go, that's hot. Much better. And then maybe put on some velocity so that so all of them aren't equally loud. So I'm turning down every second one, and not to the exact same value, but just down. So let's hear that. Yeah, man. So much better. Then what we could do is add even more dirt to this hi-hat. I have a plugin that I really like for this, and it's called Lucy by Goodhertz. And it's a weird plugin that just makes your sounds worse. It's gonna fuck them up. Let's see what happens with this very first algorithm. I mean, this is far too much. It kind of sounds like a bad cell phone call. And I'll be completely honest, I don't know what it's doing. I don't know why it sounds the way it sounds, but it does something to the sound. Hi, Lars. And whenever I'm working with a plugin like this where I don't really fully understand what's going on, it's just a matter of trying out different things until there's something that speaks to you. Right now, I think it's pretty good. Okay, so let's add that effect to the things we can bypass now. It's without anything. And this is with the effects we added. And maybe even we should add the swing. And that way, let's see. Now it's completely without us doing anything. And man, this actually really pisses me off to listen to. I do not enjoy this sound at all. Let's instead here. Isn't that amazing? I mean, this is why I'm into making music, man. This is exactly why I was drawn in. let me tell you a story quick. Like, of course, I played instruments when I was a kid, and I think I got my first guitar when I was 6 or something. But my interest for the instrument was definitely very much up and down. I had these. I think I named it Stefan, but I can name it again. It's called Lussie, and it's by a company called Good Hertz. If you can see it now. Okay, but as I said, so that plugin, that plugin. When I started playing guitar, I really liked it. It was fine, but it didn't. It wasn't life changing, and I played the piano as well. I started playing the drums later on. Played a little bit of bass just for myself, like whatever I could piece together from already playing the guitar. It's not like I was specialized in playing the bass in any way, but I would say maybe of the traditionally real instruments that I've played, drums were probably the ones that spoke the most to me. But it's an annoying instrument to play because it annoys your family, your neighbors, and your own ears. I mean, it's not a particularly healthy instrument, or a good instrument for your health. Also, I mean, there is definitely, I don't know if there's any drummers watching, but there's definitely a thing about drummers often being like the ones who are the weirdest in the band. So then I think I was like 14, 15 when I got my first program where I could make music. And even though it was like extremely basic and I couldn't do shit compared to what I can now, and I basically didn't understand it. I didn't know what was happening in the program. But that's the first time I had that feeling of really wanting to sort of master that instrument. It was pretty immediate, where it was just like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I don't know, maybe because it was sort of fairly late that I found my instrument, which I call the computer. I definitely see it as my instrument. I never had those dreams of becoming like a rock and roller or anything when I was a kid. I think it was just this thing about being able to manipulate sounds that really spoke to me. Okay, so people are really interested, or at least a couple, in this Lossy plugin. So I'm gonna just duplicate it and then try to do a few more things with it. Let me make sure that. Okay, so that's one algorithm. Let's try another one. Yeah, man. It's really like just chopping it up. And I think a lot of these algorithms are almost trying to be like the world's worst MP3 converter. A lot of these, if I put this same effect on a musical loop, let me try to put it on a synthesizer or something. Let's see, what do I have? This one from the live stream from this Friday. If I put it on that instead, it's gonna sound like if someone was at a concert and you call them and you can either hear it in the back, or even worse, they do that thing of saying like, oh, listen to this. And what's worse than having to listen to music through a cell phone call? But here we go. That's exactly what I'm going to do for you guys right now. You're lucky. Oh, sorry, I didn't turn it on. I didn't understand what was going on. Wow. That could quickly turn into sound torture. Here we go. This sounds like, hey, yeah, I'm at a concert. Oh, it's fucking great. Yeah, they're playing so great. So you can do a lot of the different stuff, but we'll keep that first sound that we made. So yeah, write down that plugin and let's make another sound. What should we do? It could be, how about, does anyone have an idea? What should be the next drum sound? I'll use the first suggestion. And in the meantime, I'll think about what type of effect to put on it. Video. Cowbell, classic. Let's put in some more cowbell. And we'll use an acoustic cowbell. This is pretty good. That's boring. Let's go with this one. Actually, I do believe we can make this cowbell sound great. I think, what technique do I want to use? Let's first put it through a convolution reverb and then do something else to it. This is going to sound strange, I think, but yeah, it's too long. I want something more interesting. Not perfect. Let's try to hear it. Oh, that was everything. My bad. Gonna mute it so it doesn't happen again. Oops, I think I erased the wrong one here. What was it? Was it something like this? Yeah, that's fine. The cowbell is too long though. So let's try this one. It's better. It's almost good. Try another one. Too lo-fi? Not even there. Maybe. Yeah? I don't know. I don't feel like we hit it yet. Maybe the problem also is that the sound is too long. Maybe if we make it super short itself. I mean, it's decent. This is good. Cool, let's do that, but then lower the pitch, I think. Okay, so now it sounds like a cowbell again, but like a strange cowbell. A cowbell found on Mars. Okay, so now we have some sounds, and we're getting close to something that could be a cool beat. And then I want to add some ambience, like we already added in the beat to Snow. So all these ambient bits that I have over here in my sample folder, maybe if I change it to this view, you'll be able to see all of it. All of these that I have here, all of them are sounds that I've made previously. Sort of like whenever you see like a cooking show and they say stuff like they cheated and made it to begin with or whatever. This is sort of the same thing here. I just do it to prepare. So some days I just sit down and only make weird sounds that I might use later on. So let's hear a couple of them. Right now I'm in the folder called Noisy. And this one is this isn't actually a... And thanks to BS, yeah, I feel like we made a cowbell sound good, but we're not done yet. So we could add this to the beat. Okay, way too loud. Let's turn it all the way down. Already, it's getting better because, again, like I said in the beginning, with the beat from Snow, I feel like there's a kind of a glue going on now. It's tying it together. Let's hear it. Also, especially if we make this loop way longer. Let's make it 4 times as long. So now it's a 4-bar loop. And now it doesn't just completely loop every bar because this ambient sound that we put down here is as long as the entire length. Yeah, nice to see you too, man. Okay. Let's try to add a few other sounds because this is kind of like a noise. I want to hear something that is more like a note. This almost sounds like a machine room in like a movie about a boat or something. A movie about a boat. Oh. Anyways. Okay, so we can already hear that's not gonna work. To Chris, what does it say? Chris Jonas? Am I saying that correctly? Chris Jonas? Yeah, this is gonna be reoccurring. Every Tuesday, I'm thinking. Every Tuesday night, we're gonna do sort of like a talking tutorial. I'm gonna show you a few different ways of ranglifying your songs. I didn't like this, by the way. This sounds like just an alarm going off. That's gonna be super annoying. So let's find another one. Yeah, that could be interesting. But it's this is almost like a song in itself. These are too songy. So let's go to sci-fi. You could quickly get into almost prodigy-like territory with a sound like this. Let's just try it. And a reverse snare? Yeah, sure. Let's put in a reverse snare. Now, I often, almost always, put my drum sounds in MIDI clips because I feel like I can easier manipulate them afterwards. But if I'm using reversed sounds, I'm always doing it as audio because you can way easier. It's way easier to time it. So it's snare. In that case, I think I would like it to be as fairly. Yeah, just like a small snare like this, and then it could be like. And I probably want it to be a little bit out of the actual grid. I'm gonna make the loop shorter again. Yeah, man, already good. Let's fuck around with the timing a little bit. Too obvious. Still too obvious. This I like. And I mean, I don't know if there's any secret to show here apart from the fact that it really is a good thing to not know what you're doing all the time. Because if you think too much about it, maybe you'll just do the same thing you did the last time you did something similar. So I would say I'm almost trying to make decisions without thinking about them. And then if that doesn't work, I'll try it where I'm thinking about it. Does that make any sense? I just feel like I'm surprising myself way more often this way, rather than it all being completely thought out and intellectualized. So, I mean, if I had intellectualized this, I would have never put the snare here, where it really adds like an out of beat, like thump, that almost makes your shoulders jump up a little bit every time it comes in. Let's hear it. It's like. Yeah, that's fucking great. It will be Christianas. You can see all of it afterwards. Facebook, I think, is very what's the word? Like the video I did yesterday was tagged for using someone else's music for like 45 seconds, and what those 45 seconds was just a tiny little ambient piece from another song I was working on. So definitely my own, and not sampled or anything. But it's still up on YouTube. So yeah, all I'm saying is if you can't find this video on Facebook when you want to watch it from the beginning, you can find it on YouTube or Twitch. You know what? Let's lower the pitch of the cowbell even more. Something like that. Okay, and back to adding the ambience. I mean, this all depends on what kind of a mood you want to create. Because if you want to create unrest in the listener, adding a sound like this is perfect. I mean, it goes from being something that could be really happy and actually positive, and then just adding this one sound. I mean, it almost makes the beat sound dangerous or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Let me think for a second. What was it that I wanted to show you? Okay, yeah. So these are the type of effects that I put on the tracks themselves. Because, like, for instance, this convolution reverb is something that even if I'm opening the song in 1 month, I'll be able to change it. But there are certain effects that are not good for real-time effects, but are better for bouncing effects. Let me show you a few of them. And let's choose another rim shot to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna need the track itself, and then I'm gonna need another track I'm creating now to record it into. So I'm taking the input of track 59 where I put the rim shot, and then this is our, let's call it recorder. Oh, and I did it the wrong way around. I set the output. What was it? 59. Here we go. And then we're going to say post effects. Okay, and now we're going to make some fairly crazy sounds that we probably have to chop up afterwards. So these are presets. I'm going to drag in some presets now that I've also made previously. This is in a wild plugin called Biome. Let's listen to it. Without. That's just a rim shot. With. Okay. Not bad, but not great either. Let's try another one. Let's try to hear it with the rest of the beat and see if it creates some sort of cool layer. Man, second stream and there's already the very first stupid bot comment. This is gonna be fun. Wanna become famous? Buy followers. Nah, man, I'm good. Okay, so actually, I kind of like this. I think it's interesting. There's it adds like a beat to it that wasn't there before. I want to try to put in, yeah, just like a
Just become best friends. Yep.
Oh my fucking god! I have these. I just got the biggest scare because I have these sounds going off when there's, yeah, you can see it on the screen. There's a Twitch follower. I totally forgot. I don't know if you could hear it. Man, that fucked me up. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna use a conga type sound instead. and to me this is, I like this. Because it has, I don't know, it just adds something that seems right in between being human and machine. Does that make any sense? So what I would do is just record it, and maybe use it later, maybe not. Let's record it. Yeah, it's all good. If you were the one who gave me that scare, it's just fine. I probably should just change it to another sound. Okay, so that's recorded. And then we might go back to using that. I want to try something different though. Let's put on Biome Metal Maker. Oh my god. That's it. That is immediate Sophie vibes. And it's alive even though I'm not playing anything. Let's definitely record that. Yeah. Okay. Some real interesting shit going on. I want to try to find the most calm places in that sound and then go with that. Let's hear it. It's so loud. I like that. Oh, and then the way. Oh, man. All right. That's the way you gotta do it. So. This could be extremely useful, I think. I want to keep that. I want to keep that. My God. This is fun to me. Okay. I definitely have too many sounds still, but maybe if something like, again, I'm just trying right now, and then we can think about it afterwards. So that's muted. Let's see what it sounds like. And I need to take this out, I think. Too much here. I mean, this sound is award-winning. This. That's the sound of the future, baby. Okay, I'm starting to get a vibe here, and what I want to do is every fourth rim, I want to be another sound to create a stumbling feeling. We really are creating a beat very much in the vein of Snow right now, but I mean, it is the same tempo. It's a lot of the same techniques. It does make sense. Oh, let's use a rim shot. Let's try this one. And again, we'll use the trick where we put it through a convolution reverb. Yeah, man, Copenhagen 2077. But we can do better. Maybe one of these where we make it super short. Oh, that was the cowbell. My bad. Nah, needs a little bit more. Maybe that one. Let's try it. And then I think it needs to be lower in pitch. Maybe. It's too loud. And then last thing I'm thinking is that it should be a little too late so that it really is stumbling. And then probably mute the hi-hat here. Let's see. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I mean, from here on out, I think we're starting to just fill up the beat with too much, but I just want to show you a few more techniques. So maybe it's going to be too much. Maybe it's going to be even better. Who knows? But I would probably, if this was, and I'm for sure going to save this beat because it's not bad at all. I just feel like experimenting a bit more. That's my mood. So. Yeah, this is like a tape delay with just random. I should say, I can also see it's hidden by my face. But this guy, Biome, the reason why I like it is because, and it's for all of the plugins from Unfiltered Audio, they have an amazing randomize function. And randomizing effects is like the lazy man's way of making new sounds. But that's a dumb way of putting it because I think everyone should do it because you create sounds you would never make without a randomizer. Simply because you wouldn't be able to imagine them. But then, and what it does is just that every single parameter you see here, every single one, it'll change them. Unless you lock them, which you can, but it'll change them and into something you didn't decide on. So let's hear a few things that can come from randomizing. I mean, sure, why the fuck not? I'll record that. I will definitely record that. And I mean, in not long, I will start creating sample packs and stuff. Because I think it would be fun just to make sounds, and this is one of the techniques I will for sure use. Yeah. So if we shortened these, I think they could be interesting. For instance, if we did something like this. Oh, sorry, we're still listening to the original. Yeah, maybe if we transposed it. A little bit too much of like strangeness to that sound. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm not in love with that anymore. Let's make another one. Okay, so you can randomize it. But as I said, I have a bunch that are already made and that I love. And I want to try some freeze things. Another plugin, also from Unfiltered Audio. Also really good. Let's take a listen. Yes. I mean, that is this sound. That is that sound through one plugin, creating almost like an alien texture. Yeah, man. Let's try another thing. Not as good. Let's try another one. This is also the kind of thing that would be spectacular on a voice. Yeah, man. That one. Let's do that one. We'll record it. Sure. That's it. And I'm okay with it clipping a little bit, whatever. This is digital audio. And let's just place it in the very end of this 4-bar loop we're working on. Oh, sorry. I think I'm making a whole bunch of mistakes, not just one right now. This one needs to be muted. That one, we're still using that one, right? Okay, here we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, we're definitely far removed from something that is generic sounding. Probably a high hi-hat. And then add some reverb to a few of the sounds, and maybe this one. Not a lot, just a little bit. I also want to add a little bit to the hi-hat. And then maybe, of course, just put a little bit of compressor. Right now I like this one, but you know, whatever. Sure, and I mean, now I'll probably be ready for trying something like adding a bass line or something like that. I mean, we can just do it super quickly just to see if anything's here. Too loud. Are you thinking distortion on the whole thing or something particular, Tobias? Because we could try to add something where it's definitely not mixed in 100% at all, but maybe just a little bit underneath. I did add a little bit of very subtle drive that's a part of this Marquis compressor. It's got this drive thing right here. Generally, I would say I only like distortion when you don't think there's distortion on the sound. Like, if you hear a sound and the first thing you think is that's distorted, I'm generally a little bit off of it. So let's try to add that kind of a distortion that I was thinking, talking about to the bass. And then that's going to be one of the last things we do tonight. So this is, of course, an example of too much. But maybe like this, and then just add a little bit of dry signal to it. Then we can beef it up even more. Yeah, now it's just the sound of it. And to Caroline, yes, it will be uploaded in full version. Every time I live stream from now on, there's going to be the live stream, but you can always check it out afterwards. The same goes for whenever I'm making a song, because I want this. I mean, today is Tutorial Tuesday. This is the only day of the week where we do this kind of thing. The rest of the days is more about actually making music. And what I really want to happen is that, well, I just started making an album yesterday with the first live stream there. And then it's going to be the same with all the streams coming. I'm going to write, and in the end, it's going to be possible to go back and see, well, that song was born on that day, and you can see how it happened. So yeah, in short, it will be uploaded in full version. There's some. Let me just work on the bass line for 2 seconds. I think that's supposed to be an F. I mean, this can quickly turn into a PC music kind of. And I maybe want it to be a little bit darker. Not the last one. I mean, we can try. I think it's definitely more interesting. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear. So, I'm really. Is it Dr. Sex? Because that's a username with a lot of self-confidence, mate. Yeah, and if you know any other people that needs to be inspired, let them know about the channel here, and I'm really happy that you do get inspired, because that's a big part of why I'm doing it. Okay, so that lion sound is out. We're gonna find, as the last thing, I know I said that before, but it can be difficult to stop once I get into it. But let's just find them. I think it was lion. It was Phasey Rain. Yeah, that was the one. Let's do that one instead, and add it as a low ambience. And, of course, a little bit of sidechain compression on the bass. I should probably save it, actually. We changed a lot. Yeah, I like it better without. This is definitely not the right bass line, but we were just testing it out. I like the beat a lot. This is it. Cool. I mean, I didn't go through it as meticulously as I thought I would, but I hope some of you learned something. Just got a little glimpse into how I like to make my drums. And thank you, Magnus, for saying that it's svedigt. I'll probably share this beat pretty soon. Maybe just as a thing where other people can do something with it. I don't know. But I'll definitely save it. So how should I save it? Probably here. I mean, I could do this after ending the stream, but I would forget. Okay. I mean, unless there's a few questions here in the end, let's end the stream for tonight, and then I will be back on already tomorrow afternoon, and I think I'm gonna start at 2:00. Yeah. Jeg er glad til at høre så, mand. Well, all right. Ciao. See you tomorrow or one of the coming days. Bye.